alive?
If you are presently unoccupied, perhaps.
Am I alive? Am I alive? Let's see. First. Yes, teams. Which is an odd place to begin. Does that make sense? Not anymore. Anyways, well, yes, of course. How could I forget? Greetings, viewers, and welcome to Stareyed Plays Genshin. Today, I'm gonna do the Emilie story quest. So let's see how that goes. First, of course, what we do is unlock the quest. Okay. But before that, oh wait. Okay, Port Ormos. Okay. Before that, what I had to begin with is the test run. So the characters in the banner are Emilie, Yelan, Yanfei, Razor, and Xiangling, who I have C6. So I should check my stars of Yanfei and Razor. I think Yanfei is C5, I think.
What you got?
By royal decree, precision strike.
So I am not entirely sure why it is encouraged to build this character with the
Wings of darkness, come.
Razor, yeah. So a character who is inspired by DMC4 Nero, apparently. I like DMC4 and Nero from DMC4. Okay. I think Razor is cool. But I don't like his playstyle because it's like, do they want us to build him as a physical DPS or as a political DPS? Like it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit of a mix. Like the way he's set up, you know. Speaking of which, is this the one with sprinters? Okay, not the Emilie. Let's see.
Teamwork is dreamwork to ashes. Incinerate. Rain cutter. Visible evidence. Motion to compel.
I think my Yanfei C5. Oh, I like Yanfei is cool character.
Eyes on me. Your arraignment. Boom boom.
Yolan, like, she's one of the characters I use the most. Oh, wait, I had a river, and I messed up. Oh, dear. Well, plan B.
Quietly now. Blitz. Oh, so sorry. Let's spark things up. Game's up. Time's over.
Some Lacra, okay.
Do I get frostbite? Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
Now for the beast resistance. Okay, for some reason that counted as one view. Okay. Emilie, okay. So the case created by a skill attacks enemies at intervals while nearby enemies are burning. Sensor periodically created. Okay. After case absorbs. Okay. So her kit, as far as I can tell, is like a support for burning characters. Oh, okay. Interesting. Get up. Odd, but okay. Alright. Or weapon. Luminous LAG. Okay. Crit rate. Oh, okay. Interesting. Increases attack and burning related. It's an interesting polearm.
Would you mind coming?
So I noticed this pattern with a lot of Fontaine-based weapons, where it's like you can see the Noma or Osha alignment on their signature weapons. Oh, right, of course, okay, so her, like, passive buff is, pyro resistance, increase upon burning, okay. Increases burning damage. Yeah, her kit is all about burning, or like assisting other characters with burning reactions. Oh, hello, viewer. You can, chat or something that could be useful. Oh, right. Anyways, her burst, which I should check out. Her skill is what has the Arcade of Numa. Okay. And her skill. Now for her normal attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's just 4. Okay. Yeah, viewer, you can like type in the chat or something if you want to make any comments. Her burst. Oh, sorry, not her burst. Her charge attack. Yeah, that's an upward slice. That might be the first actual proper human character with a upward slice polearm. Okay, maybe it's not showing up that odd. Right. Her skill, which does this. Okay. This would be an interesting Click to check out.
Reconstitute.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
This'll brighten up the place.
Oh, that's a great animation. That's a great animation for a burst.
Fresh and floral.
It might be the first time the animation I've actually been excited to see. Like from the first time itself. I don't know, maybe I'll get more into use to it later.
This'll brighten up the place. Neutralize.
Boy, it was very interesting. Yeah, I should see her talents. 4 consecutive, yeah, we saw that. Luminance case. Okay. 22 seconds. Cooldown of 14 seconds. Oh, so that can be placed like continuously. Hey, hey. What else is there? Damage. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna try to get her. I'm definitely gonna try and get her. So, that is all done. This was a new event that began today. I played some of it, but I'll go. It's okay. Nothing amazing or anything like that. Oh, cool. This time I'm gonna have to add. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get this. Okay. I reckon I can get questions sometime. Oh, viewers. Hello, viewers. You can, put stuff in the chat. Not sure if I can respond to you immediately or if I'll be looking at consecutively. But, it's there. So, please chat. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I had to do the story. What should I use for the story? You know what? Let's use these guys. Most, this is a team that shouldn't work at all. And it won't, I don't think it works, except for, all the characters that I am using are kinda, like, they are belt characters. So, and otherwise this doesn't work at all. Anyways. Oh, that looks like Danari in the distance. Let's go as this.
I thought I told him to spray it with water to retain moisture before applying the film. You can't treat a glazed lily like a cactus. If Sanjay does this again, the loss will have to come out of his food expenses.
I'll go talk to him. At this rate, he won't even be able to afford eating cacti for much longer.
Tainari?
Oh, it's you two. It's been a while. What?
We didn't have anything to do, and this place looked pretty lively, so we decided to stop by.
Well, Port Ormos is currently organizing a flower exhibition featuring flowers and plants from all over Teyvat, so I came to help out. The exhibition includes flowers from every corner of the world, each with their own unique properties and needs. Even so, an expert is still required to develop tailored transportation and care plans for each type of flower.
Oh, and that expert is you, right?
Not this time, no. I'm just here to help out. The expert in charge is someone else.
Mr. Tainari! Sanjay! He confused the poisonous bulbs with garlic shoots, and he ate them!
Never mind. Forget about what I said about the food expenses. Apologies, Traveler, Paimon. Looks like I've got something to take care of.
Tainari's busy no matter where he is, huh? Yeah, seems like it. Some people just need supervision. Well, looks like Tainari might be busy for a while.
Okay.
Wow, look at these flowers! They smell so...
Huh?
Paimon's... fine. She's just got a little...
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilia's?
It's getting worse.
You're sick?
But, I was fine just a moment ago.
A moment of your time, you two? If it's not too much trouble, perhaps you could try this incense.
Incense? Oh, the scent is so nice! Wait! Whoa, that was fast! Paimon doesn't have to sneeze anymore!
Think nothing of it. From your attire, I imagine you two aren't from Sumeru either. Seeing as we're both travelers from abroad, it's only right that we help each other out should the occasion arise.
Oh, so you're here for the flower exhibition too?
I suppose that's accurate. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Emilie, a perfumer from Fontaine.
Oh, her irises. They are, yeah, those are some interesting irises.
Paimon is Paimon! Thank you so much for your help just now. Oh, and this is...
The Traveler, right? I've heard a lot about you from the Steambird. It's nice to finally put a face to the name.
What happened back there? Why did Paimon start sneezing all of a sudden?
Have you ever heard of hay fever? To
Yeah,
put
I
it
don't know
simply,
about that.
when inhaled, certain pollens can trigger abnormal physical reactions.
But Paimon has seen these kinds of flowers before and nothing weird happened then.
Well, we're all different. The factors that can trigger a reaction to certain stimuli vary by person. In isolation, the effects of certain pollens may seem minimal, but inhaling various types at once can trigger a more overt reaction. But there's no need to worry. Pollen allergies can be effectively mitigated with the use of medication.
Oh, well, that's good.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Is everything all right? I left in such a hurry, I forgot to warn you about all the pollen in the air. Emilie? Ah, what a coincidence. Looks like my worry was misplaced then. The Traveler and Paimon are in good hands.
It was nothing, really. We happened to run into each other shortly after my arrival, and I offered them a bit of help. I'm more curious as to why you thought the Traveler and Paimon were in danger. Allergies...
Remember the first time we met? You fainted after inhaling Spirit Borneal.
The Spirit Borneal didn't affect Paimon at all.
It's not really something you can make sense out of, Paimon. There are all kinds of allergies out there, caused by a variety of different factors.
Exactly. I even encountered a case in Fontaine where someone had an allergic reaction to soba noodles their family brought back from Inazuma.
Whoa. Good thing Paimon isn't allergic to anything delicious.
In a manner of speaking, although you could say the patients I deal with are rather unusual.
In addition to medicine, Emilie is also very knowledgeable about botany. She's taught me a lot about the native flora around Fontaine.
And that's where my expertise ends, I'm afraid. When it...
A flower expert? Oh, Paimon's got it! You must be the expert Tanari mentioned, the one in charge of the exhibition!
Wrong again.
Well, I did come for the exhibition, but only to inquire about the Auguste variety.
Oh, Paimon was sure she got it right this time.
It's a kind of flower that was once popular in Fontaine. The perfume made from it also bears the same name, Auguste.
Auguste, huh? That's not a name you hear often nowadays.
In an ancient language, the word is said to mean sacred or noble. It's sometimes used as a name for people as well. Ah, that reminds me. Are you familiar with the historical event in Fontaine known as Perfume Mania? Perfume Mania was an event that occurred in Fontaine nearly 20 years ago. It all started when several merchants released their own lines of high-end, expensive perfumes, marketing them as must-have luxury products. No one anticipated the absolute frenzy this would create on the market,
Hey, is this
causing
like
the price of perfumes to skyrocket.
Tulip Mania that I think happened in Europe? Tulip Fever, I think it's called. Tulip Fever? Something like that, yeah.
The demand was twofold. What some saw as a status symbol, most saw as a money-making opportunity. You could take advantage of the soaring price by hoarding them and reselling at even higher margins.
Oh, like, what was it? NFTs? Or am I talking about AI products? I don't know. It's something like this crops up every now and then.
The value of these products became so inflated, regular bottles of perfume were even going for hundreds of thousands of mora. But at the end of the day, perfume is just perfume. Luckily, the Palais Mermonia recognized the danger and intervened before the craze could truly spread. In the end, only a few wealthy families were affected when the bubble popped.
What does all this have to do with that Auguste you mentioned?
Well, during the craze, the most popular perfume was none other than Auguste.
10 million? Then what about now?
After the mania ended, most perfumes returned to a normal price. Auguste was the only exception. Its namesake, the flower used to create it, went extinct. As a result, no new bottles of Auguste have been made, and the value of the perfume remains exceedingly high. Indeed, the Auguste flower was not a natural variety, you see. When the bubble popped, all the flower beds used for its cultivation were destroyed in a fire.
But didn't you say you...
Ah, yes. I came to investigate a certain rumor that the Auguste flower has reappeared in Sumeru.
Traveler, we should help Emilie look for it.
I
Wait,
have
it's
to
like-
agree. Emilie wrote me to ask if I could look into the rumor, but the forest rangers haven't received any reports of new plant species recently.
Even if I can locate the flower, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed, Paimon. I don't have any grand Mora-making endeavors planned. Divine, noble, one of a kind. All beautiful sentiments to be sure, but to me, they overshadow the very essence of the product. When it comes to perfume, I want people to forget the price and the prestige, and focus on the beauty of the fragrance itself.
Wow, so noble.
Of course, there's also a more practical reason. In recent years, low-grade counterfeit versions of Auguste have been popping up on the Fontaine perfume market. Every so often, someone will claim to have recreated the unique scent of Auguste, and the rumor mill will start comparing the
Okay, that's more like the reason Paimon had in mind.
Yeah.
Ever since that rumor started, 3 new perfumes claiming to be made from the Auguste flower have appeared on the market. If I can dispel the fanaticism surrounding Auguste, even just by proving the rumor to be false, Fontaine's perfume market can finally start to get back to normal. Then I'll be free from all the stories and added meaning and just focus on making what I like.
That makes sense.
Oh, I would of course be grateful for your help, but I wouldn't want...
Well, you said it yourself. We're both travelers from abroad, so it's only right that we help each other out.
Going to work attack. No.
Huh, I suppose you're right. Then you have my thanks.
Based on the information I have so far, it's unclear if the rumor is true. Mr. Edgar also thinks it's too early to say. But you could always go talk to him. He was there all those years ago, after all. Maybe he'll know something.
Huh, I was just about to pay him a visit at the hotel.
Edgar? Who's that?
The person you've been trying to guess this whole time. The flower expert in charge of the exhibition. Back when he was still working in Fontaine, Auguste was his creation.
I should also mention, he was my teacher, the one who taught me the basics of perfumery when I apprenticed in Sumeru.
So this guy was a famous perfumer in Fontaine, but then he came to Sumeru to teach people from Fontaine? It sounds confusing.
I agree
It's a
with
long
her, actually.
story. If you're interested, we can talk more about it when we see him. He should be staying near the hotel.
Actually, I agree with that sentiment. That is sounding very confusing. And I need to reset my teams. Dang it, again. Again, really? Okay. Let's use these guys. What? Okay. Odd, but okay.
Oh, look at all the flowers!
Apparently, the exhibitor paid a large sum to rent out the hotel and surrounding buildings. They're being used as temporary storage facilities and lodging for exhibition personnel.
Yeah, what if guests come early? They won't have anywhere to stay. Also, renting out this big of a hotel, how are they gonna make that more back?
You can, type stuff up in the chat that make it a bit more lively if you want. Anyways, back to the main story.
It's been so long. I almost didn't recognize you, Edgar.
Well, you and your brother haven't changed a bit.
Oh, yeah, look, all this catching up is nice and all, but let's get down to business. We need to talk about Kyria.
Hold on.
It's nice to see you again, Master.
Emilie? Is that you? Oh, it's been years. Look at you. I've heard you've become quite the famous perfumer in Fontaine.
Oh, well, it's all thanks to your mentorship.
Ah, hardly. I taught you the basics. I've taught many students here in Sumeru over the years, but I've yet to see one turn out quite as accomplished as you. And who are these two? I don't recall you mentioning them in your letter.
Ah, they're my new friends, the Traveler and Paimon.
Emilie's friends. Well then, the pleasure is all mine.
And these two gentlemen? Are they friends of yours, Master?
Of course. We're perfume merchants from Fontaine. I'm Oud, and this here is my younger brother, Blaze. Edgar and the two of us are old friends. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Yes.
That's not suspicious at all.
Merchant brothers?
You must be here to look for the August flower then.
Well, what respectable perfume merchant hasn't heard of a goose?
I'm guessing you're here for the same reason, Emilie. I commissioned a few eremites to do some scouting for me. That being said, there are people in Port Ormos who claim to have smelled a unique fragrance on the streets. Definitely floral, but still distinct. Some of them were merchants who lived in Fontaine 20 years ago. A one-of-a-kind, divine, and noble scent.
Maybe someone around here just happens to have a bottle of August from back then.
No, I don't think so. I doubt that's the case. Even if someone had a bottle that was never opened, the fragrance of the perfume would have changed over time. Auguste is even more prone to that kind of shift. Although, Could there be a flower out there with a similar fragrance?
Impossible! If a goose were that easy to replicate, it would never have sold for such a high price all those years ago.
Technically speaking, the scent wouldn't be impossible to imitate.
Well, let's table that question for now.
No. By the time they realized they had smelled something, the scent was already gone. Compared to things we see and hear, smells can be much easier to overlook.
That is actually kind of true.
It almost sounds like someone wearing the Auguste fragrance passed them on the street.
Wait, are you saying...
Just thinking out.
We don't have much to go off of right now, but we can't rule out that possibility. You all traveled so far to be here. Why don't you rest in the hotel for a bit? Oud, Blaze, this is the key to your room.
Woo! You've got the keys to the rooms?
My apologies. I managed to tidy up one of the rooms for these two at the last minute.
Oh, and we just showed up out of the blue.
I should have been more considerate. Here.
Don't worry, Master. I can sleep on the boat tonight. Or I could even camp in the wild. It would give me the opportunity to collect some plant specimens while I'm here in Sumeru.
Oh, yes.
Ah, even better. Although, would it be possible for me to leave some of my luggage here?
Well...
See, the traveler thought, huh?
Of course, no trouble at all. My brother and I will keep an eye on them for you, as long as you don't mind, mademoiselle.
All right, then. Oud, why don't you... I'll prepare some refreshments.
I mean, this whole thing is just so suspicious. So suspicious. Unbelievably suspicious.
Whoa, the smell of flowers is so strong. Didn't Edgar say he tidied up around here? I took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers.
No, that's a florist thing. We work closely with the essential oils of various plants. But to maintain a sharp sense of smell, most perfumers prefer to keep their homes free of strong odors.
Oh, guess there's just too much to store for the exhibition then.
Oh, this room seems to be a connected suite, and my brother will be staying on the other side of the suite. Blaze, while you're out, why don't you bring our luggage over as well?
Yes.
All right, then. Where can we find your luggage, mademoiselle?
It's still at the port. In addition to some daily necessities, there's also a case of amber wine that I brought back from Fontaine. Could I trouble you to bring that back as well?
How generous. I should thank you on my brother's behalf. You've stumbled upon his weakness. He's aloof about most things, but alcohol is his one true love.
Is that so?
Okay.
Mr. Oud, Mr. Blaze, thanks for...
Hey! What are you doing?
That's Master's voice.
So nothing to do here except get out.
Edgar!
Master!
Hey, Edgar. Are you all right?
Who did...
Kyria. Auguste.
Kyria.
Hey, Edgar? Edgar!
No, don't shake him. He's injured. Just leave him to me. You two can... Oh, thank you.
Okay, so we are not in... Oh, wait, we are investigating this.
That strange
Bottle.
smell around here. Is it coming from this bottle? Oh, really? Do you think whoever did this was hiding in the flowers before they attacked Edgar? True.
I checked. It doesn't look like anyone passed through here.
Oh, but that's impossible. It's not like that kid can just grow some wings and fly away. Oh, the culprit, I mean. It's not like the culprit could have just disappeared into thin air.
Okay.
Well, we looked all over, but the only clue we found was that bottle.
The most important thing we can do now is focus our efforts on treating Master.
Okay.
So, how's he doing?
When I administered emergency treatment, I discovered a residue in his nose and mouth. He's still unconscious, and inducing vomiting could obstruct his airways. We'll have to look into other clues for now. Ah, yes. The scent is the same, but the chemical composition is still unclear. But first, I do Mr. Sylvain, Mr. Lucian.
Wait, you know... Hey, were you talking to us, mademoiselle?
Before arriving in Sumeru, I asked a friend from the Special Patrol to look into the creators of Auguste. There were 4 people in total. The perfumer, Edgar, the one thrust into the limelight, a researcher from Sumeru responsible for cultivating the Auguste flower, and the two brothers capitalized on the mythos surrounding Auguste. There, in the end, they were sent to the Fortress of Meripede for falsifying their accounts and destabilizing the market.
And what does that have to do with us?
Every time your brother called you Blaze, it took you several seconds to respond.
Miss Emilie, out of respect for your position as you have a bright future ahead of you. You wouldn't want to develop a reputation as someone who throws around false accusations, especially among merchants.
You claim to be regular perfume merchants, and yet, when I brought up you took it to be alcohol.
What?
Amber wine is a perfume I created several years ago. It wasn't particularly renowned, but I'm certain any respectable perfume merchant in Fontaine would know of it. Unless, until recently, they were living somewhere completely cut off from the perfume world. Somewhere like the Fortress of Meripede, perhaps?
Emily, you little...
Hey, don't mess with the Dull Blade. Never mess with the Dull Blade.
Don't misunderstand, Mr. Sylvain. I don't bring this up to criticize you, but Master's life is in danger. If Master's attack had something to do with Auguste, I would imagine the 2 of you might also be in danger. So I'd like to trouble you for some information, if I may. Tell me about Kyria.
Fine.
Sylvain,
Lucian, if this will help us find Kyria, then it will be all worth it. You were right, Miss Emilie. There were 4 of us at the beginning. Myself, Lucian, Edgar, and a researcher from Sumeru in charge of flower cultivation, Vijava. Sometime down the road, the Marechaussee Phantom came knocking, saddled us with a list of accusations, and started looking into our books.
Sounds like he's still upset about that. Wait, then how did Edgar end up in Sumeru?
Master was convicted as an accomplice, so he only had to serve a few years. He decided to move to Sumeru so that he could put those events behind him. Still, Master was depressed for a long time after that. He stopped making new perfumes and focused on introducing students to the craft instead. That's how I met him. My parents had to relocate to Sumeru for work when I was a child, but we can talk about that some other time. I want to hear more about this researcher, Vijava.
Like us, Vijava was also staring down an investigation from the Marechaussee Phantom. But before the Phantom showed up at her door, she set all the flower beds on fire, along with much of the mora we managed to earn.
But destroying all that evidence, wouldn't that make things worse for her?
It didn't matter at that point.
What?
sounds like you did an investigation of your own. Why even ask us if you knew all of this already?
The name wasn't mentioned in any of the files I reviewed either. But you two seem quite familiar.
Kyria was Vijava's younger brother. He was just a clueless kid back then. Somewhere in his teens, I think. He helped his sister with her work sometimes, but that was pretty much it. He didn't have any idea what we were doing. Vijava kept him close most of the time. The three of us were probably the only ones who even knew she had a brother. After our operation was compromised, he disappeared. There were no signs of him until recently.
So, you think Kyria took something with him back then? Something that allowed him to reproduce the Auguste flower?
Vijava doted on the kid like you wouldn't believe. If she left something behind before she died...
And judging by the liquid in that bottle, the Auguste flower wasn't the only thing he reproduced. He managed to replicate the perfume itself.
So the liquid Edgar was forced to ingest really was Auguste. Wait, does that mean Auguste is poison?
Poison? No. Of course not. No perfume is meant to be ingested. Even small amounts can be dangerous. If Auguste could be considered a poison, we wouldn't have even sold half a bottle back then. Edgar fell unconscious because Kyria forced him to drink perfume. He probably thought we had something to do with his sister's death. But to tell you the truth, I have no idea why she did all that. We're not looking for Kyria because we have it out for him. We just wanted to see how he was doing. And, if possible, work together to bring back Auguste. We only went to prison for a bit of fraud and market manipulation. It had nothing to do with the product itself. As long as we keep things honest this time around, bringing the product back to market would almost be like honoring his sister's memory.
So that's why you never mentioned Kyria during your interrogation?
Yes, exactly. We were just looking out for the kid.
Anyway, that's all we know. If you're looking for information on what's in Auguste or what to do if you ingest it, there are only two people to ask. Edgar or Kyria himself.
Well, at least we're able to say for certain that the substance Edgar ingested was in fact Auguste. That gives us a direction for further testing.
Well, glad to hear it. Lucian, let's head back to the room and rest a bit. With everything that's happened, there are things that need reconsidering.
Yes, of course.
Still give villainous vibes. Like, both of them are still so suspicious.
You think so too. But based on Sylvain's tone of voice just now...
The way you exposed him like that, just based on a hunch? That was genius!
She's a forensic.
Oh, right! Earlier you said you were only sort of a doctor.
Oh yes, that's because most of the patients I encounter are already dead.
So you're a forensic doctor?
Close. I'm actually a forensic cleaner. Once the forensic team and the Marechaussee Phantom are done collecting evidence from the scene, I'm in charge of clearing away the final traces my patients leave on the world. In fact, with just a small alteration to the formula, basically there are two sides to forensics. Those who collect evidence to expose the truth, and those who clean up the smells, bloodstains, and other substances left behind at the scene. I've learned a lot in my line of work, and I've witnessed a lot of death. But this time, we may still save the patient. Actually, Traveler, could I trouble you to report back to Tainari and the officers at Port Ormos? We should update them on the situation. I'll stay here and continue to look after Master. Master looks a lot older than when...
Okay. Interesting. Shenanigans are happening. Or the almost music. Like, come on, it's good music.
Whoa, why the rush? Did something happen?
What? Edgar was attacked? He's the most famous perfumer in the region. Someone who's helped countless people around Port Ormos.
Sheriff, have you received any reports of a suspicious individual fleeing through the bazaar?
No, but we've got eyes all over the area. I'll start gathering my forces. We won't let him get away.
What about you, Tainari? Do you have a plan?
I'm sure the sheriff can handle things over at the scene.
But
Then she was far too modest. She may not be a doctor by trade, but she has a deeper understanding of human anatomy and pharmacology than most scholars from the Amorta Darsh, not to mention the fact that Mr. Edgar's condition is related to perfume. As for me, well,
oh, that's right.
from Emilie's letter, certainly, but that was the first time I'd heard of it. I didn't have time to look into it earlier, but I have friends in Sumeru City that can help me investigate. I'll leave you and Emilie to watch over things here in Port Ormos.
Okay. Okay, I have to wait until sometime.
Well, it's been a day. Wonder if Tainari's discovered anything. But things weren't looking good with Emily's master yesterday. We should check on things at the hotel first.
You can, you know, like type in chat and stuff if you want. It helps me out.
Emily!
No longer in critical condition, thankfully. My chemical analysis of a goose also went smoothly, although it certainly raised some questions. I was able to identify the components that give the substance its fragrance, but I also noticed an abnormal trace of elemental energy in the sample.
Ah, okay.
Elemental energy?
Hard to say. It was such a minute amount proportion. I had to use one of the newest tests developed in recent years to even detect the traces present in the sample. Unless you were abnormally sensitive to elemental energy, as for whether Master's condition was caused by the elemental energy present in the sample or some other component of the perfume, it's still too early to say.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. Did Tainari come and find you?
I received a message from him last night, but I haven't heard anything since.
Oh, Paimon thought he might have stopped by to see you for... excuse me? Is Miss Emily here?
Olé!
Oh, perfect! Familiar faces!
It's Olé. She's cool.
Kale. Oh, of course. Tainari's apprentice. He's mentioned you many times. And please, no need for formalities.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you too, Miss, Emily. Did Tainari send you here, Kale? Yep. Master and the others went through decades worth of records last night, and still haven't had a chance to rest. Anyway, based on what they've reviewed so far, they believe there's no indication that a researcher by the name of Vijava ever passed through the academia. Master considered that possibility as well, but the name wasn't the only dead end. How is that possible?
It's starting to seem very likely.
Hey! Lucian!
It's Sylvain! Wait, you don't think Curio came back?
That seems impossible. If someone came in or out of the hotel... It's locked?
There's no one here.
Lucian! Lucian!
That's Sylvain's voice!
Okay. What is happening?
Lucian! Lucian! Come on! Emilie, Emilie, my brother, he's gonna be okay, right?
I'm sorry, Mr. Sylvain.
No, that's not.
Traveler, Kale, Mr. Sylvain has gone through a huge shock. He needs some space to calm down.
Of course. Leave it to me.
Thank you both.
Oh,
Mr. Sylvain,
okay.
let's get you up. Here. We'll take things from here. Just focus on getting some rest. Here, this way.
Very, very suspicious, but okay.
Poor guy. He's like a shell of his former self. He may have made some bad decisions in life, but right now, Paimon can't help but feel sorry for him.
Good person or bad, the death of a loved one is equally painful. All the moments he shared with his brother, every hardship and triumph they endured together, are now memories he has to carry alone.
If Kyria really was behind this,
Lucian can no longer speak, but the traces left behind by his death most certainly can. Traveler, I've got things covered here at the scene.
Okay.
Who would have thought? Yesterday's case. Miss Emilie, I heard you're an experienced forensic doctor.
Oh, I'm not actually a forensic doctor. I did take a look, though. Judging by the temperature and rigidity of the body, it appears the time of death was sometime last night.
Then, would you mind helping us investigate?
Of course, I appreciate your trust.
we'll help too. We don't know much about dead bodies.
Okay. Glitch. Familiar incense. Could it be the smell of the perfume?
And the windows are shut tight too. Well, looks like we've investigated as much as we can. Let's go report back to Emilie and Shiam.
Okay, so my current judgment is it was the incense.
So, did you find anything?
Paimon can show you. Here, it'd be something like this.
But entering through the room next door without alerting Sylvain,
No, his reaction to the loss of his brother seemed genuine.
then what could have happened last night?
I agree. Also, I've made...
Let's see how this ends.
Mr. Sylvain, I need you to tell me everything you and your brother did since yesterday afternoon.
After Kyria attacked Edgar, my brother and I were incredibly careful. We returned to our rooms and decided to lock all the doors leading to the hallway. The only door we kept unlocked was the one connecting our rooms. But I didn't hear any sort of commotion last night. Not a single noise.
So, no movement from the room next door, no signs of a struggle at the scene, and no external injury on Lucien's body. What kind of cause of death are we dealing with here?
I did notice a few things about the body. Lucien's pupils were dilated and his skin was flushed, very similar to Master's symptoms after the attack yesterday. There weren't any traces of liquid in his mouth or nose, so it's unlikely he was forced to ingest anything.
A goose? No, that's not possible. Inhaling a goose won't kill you. No. That's not what I'm... Emilie, you ran your tests.
No, I didn't find any common toxins.
See? A goose is hot.
That may be true for most.
Master!
Edgar? You're up.
Sylvain, no matter how hard...
Edgar!
Even if we could keep it a secret for... No, he wouldn't. That's Vijava's real name. Yelena wasn't a scholar from Sumeru. She was an exiled Fatus from Snezhnaya.
The Fatui.
Ah, so you've already detected it. Well, Sylvain, looks like there's truly no reason to hide things now.
It's a delusion. Okay. Well.
Oh.
The August flower was created with...
The Fatui, delusions.
Born of a delusion, August contained distorted elemental energy.
That's enough. At first, Yelena wanted to keep refining the perfume. It didn't have any effect on ordinary people anyway.
So you decided poisoning people was worth the risk?
Listen, it's not like it was good for business. But all that, unless you were particularly sensitive to elemental energy or had an entire bottle shoved down your throat like Edgar.
It may be true there are no records of Auguste poisoning in Fontaine, but even if no one was acutely poisoned, willfully bringing a product to market despite explicit knowledge of its harmful effects is still a serious crime.
Wonder if that's what people say about, I don't know, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, computers.
That explains why you were so intent on keeping Yelena and Kiria's involvement a secret all this time, despite readily confessing to all your financial crimes. The Fatui, delusions, Auguste. If the Marsh...
If I'd known coming to Sumeru would put a target all these years without any sign of Kiria, and he pops up out of nowhere the minute my brother and I get out of prison, Auguste was harmless before.
So there's bad blood between you.
What about Yelena's death?
I'll admit, we thought about it at one point. We took care to disguise the product, but if the Mara Chaussee Phantom decided before we could even put our plan in motion,
But if her goal was to destroy... Yeah, she could have just burned the...
I thought about it for a long time, everything she did. One of the reasons they defected from the Fatui was the deterioration of Yelena's body, due to her excessive use of a delusion. She didn't want her breath. After arriving in Fontaine, Yelena continued using the delusion to cultivate the Auguste flower, weakening her body even further.
So she couldn't flee with her brother because she was afraid of holding him back.
If her true identity was exposed, the Auguste flower and Yelena's own, so in the end...
So the wealth you earned from Auguste?
Most likely. Before Yelena died, that's why Lucien and I were searching for Kiria.
But why is Kiria...
I don't think he knew his sister was nearing death. Yelena always wore heavy makeup around him to conceal her deteriorating appearance.
Then all we'll need to do is tell Kiria what really happened, and then he'll give up on his revenge. I'm not so sure. Even if he knew the truth, he'd still find someone to blame. It's hard to pull yourself out of that kind of hatred.
Very true.
Edgar,
Think about it, Sylvain. If we hadn't been so blinded by greed, so insistent on increasing the scale of the flower cultivation, do you think Yelena's health would have deteriorated as fast as it did? If we hadn't invited the Marechaussee Phantom to our doorstep by breaking the law at every turn?
she knew her limits. She knew her days were numbered. Maybe it was for her brother, but she was in it for the Mora just as much as us. We were just trying to earn a bit of Mora. Lucien's crime. Fine.
3 people from Fontaine, 1 from Snezhnaya, and a crime committed in Port Ormos. What a headache.
International law. That's always a headache.
Well, we can only wait until the Academia sends someone to deal with it. With the exhibition...
The hotel could although with Sylvain's mental state and my physical one, I don't think you need to worry about a jailbreak.
Mr. Edgar, are you saying...
If Sylvain is to stand trial, I'd just like to take care of a few things. As for Sylvain, would you be willing to grant that request, Sheriff?
Well, all right. The man we grew to know in Sumeru proved himself to be a good person.
You have my thanks, Sheriff.
Happened tonight? Oh, you mean the possibility that Kyria might try to finish what he started?
Yeah, all we know is that he uses a goose to poison people, but we still have no idea how to catch him in the act. If he targets Sylvain or Edgar again, we might not be able to stop it.
That may be true, but what if we can take advantage of his desperation? If we take advantage of this situation and lure him in on purpose.
Master, no.
So, that's your plan. If Kyria learns we're being taken away, in other words, you want to use us as bait to capture it.
Capture? Not necessarily. I just want to talk. What? Are you afraid of him?
Afraid? I'm spending the rest of my life in prison anyway. As for the danger...
I'll admit, it could work. Then I'll station some of my men around the hotel.
I still have some reservations. But if you insist...
I'll also keep...
Although, I think if Kyria noticed another person in the room...
You mean if he doesn't see a way to get his hands...
If that were to happen, everyone's...
That's why everyone else needs to keep to the shadows.
You're still recovering. You need to rest.
This whole...
All right, we can figure out a plan to keep watch later.
Okay, interesting. Oh, like, thank you, viewers.
Have you heard? Mr. Edgar's been detained. He's being taken away tomorrow.
What? He's the one who helped craft all the fragrances for our shop.
He taught my child how to make perfume.
He hasn't been convicted yet.
Oh, everyone on the street is talking about the room. Let's head back to the hotel and take a break.
Where's the left? The elevator. Oh, there it is.
Thank you, Kale. But first, here. I prepared a kind of herbal tea that helps calm the spirit. Why don't you have some?
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Oh, it's not good to be so tense, especially when we've got a long night ahead of us. You seem very preoccupied with Kiria's revenge.
Oh, Hey, Emilie, Kale. Oh, are we? No, not at all. This will be easier to talk through with you here anyway. I've just been thinking. There was just a single door separating them. When I accompanied Sylvain to his room after maybe Kiria did that on purpose. Maybe he wanted Sylvain to experience the pain of losing a loved one before he completed his ultimate revenge.
Sorry.
So did he attack Edgar as a warning then?
Based on what we've heard about
Losing his sister all those years ago, whenever I get to thinking like that, I just can't help but wonder. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't think like that. Not after everything he's done.
There's nothing wrong with the way you're feeling. In all my years of cleaning up crime scenes, I've witnessed countless families mourn their loved ones. Some of them even try to stop me, begging me, surround yourself with fragrance for too long and your sense of smell will become dull. So while you hold on to that sense of do Sylvain and Lucien really deserve to die? Answering those questions requires a lot of time and evidence. I've witnessed a lot of deaths in Fontaine, but generally speaking, death will just leave most questions unanswered, and the whole picture ever incomplete.
Once you're consumed by hatred, it will become next to impossible to think about things that way.
You're right. The fact that we can approach these questions from this perspective isn't because we're more rational than them, but that also makes us perfectly positioned to stand on the outside. I understand Kiria's decision, but I still want to stop him.
Emilie, Traveler. Huh? Edgar, you're here too?
Oh, it's you two! Didn't you head back to your room to rest, Edgar? Is it really okay?
Besides, I don't have much time left in Sumeru.
We could do that for you, Master.
No need. I've grown attached to these flowers, and this is my last chance to say goodbye. I would imagine Sheriff...
The Night Watch!
That's right. I've stationed some of my men around the surrounding area, but we still don't have an... Exactly. After some discussion, and Emilie's expertise is sure to come in handy in a pinch.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
It's the Traveler and Emilie and Paimon in the room at night.
Not a peep. Has Kiria given up on his revenge? Guess we'll have... Still nothing unusual. Paimon took a peek into the room next door and Sylvain's already sleeping.
Perhaps Kiria's true motive was... No, that can't be right. If all he wanted was for Sylvain to be convicted for his true crimes, there must be something we're missing.
Maybe we just need to calm down a little. How about some tea? You're right. Maybe we can look for a different distraction then, like... Oh, there's a glaze lily here. Paimon didn't notice it earlier.
Flowers, clay... Oh no! Sylvain's room! Quick!
Wait, what?
Hey, did you hear?
It was the older of the merchant.
Yeah, I think his name was Sylvain.
First it was Mr. Edgar, then that merchant named...
Listen up, everyone. This is an act of crime.
It's been 3 days and they haven't even caught a glitch.
Do you think it could be the work of an... I mean, how do you get away with...
Keep it moving, everyone. No loitering.
Probably the incense.
suppose.
You don't know that. Kyria already attacked you.
You were the only reason I managed to survive, Emilie. I never did thank you for that, did I?
Even if I wasn't there, Tainari was also in the vicinity.
Is that so? I have exceptional students, caring friends, and the respect of my peers. But Kyria has nothing. It really makes you wonder.
If you really want an answer, I suppose you'll have to ask Kyria himself, once we finally catch him.
Well, Emilie, there's something else I'd like, but so many flowers were transported here for the show. Whether Kyria gets to me first, I know it's a lot.
Of course.
Really? Now
Sheriff Sham still has some questions.
Go ahead. Best not to keep him waiting.
I'm sorry, Master.
Another all-nighter. Paimon sure hopes Emily's plan will go well. Emily still isn't back. I hope she didn't run into any trouble. Yeah, that's...
Traveler, I had my men start spreading the information you requested. After listening to Emily's plan, I started, to be honest, I'm still not sure how...
The key clue was right in front of us the entire time! Let's go! We'll show you where the Wasn't this incense originally in Lucien's room? This is it!
The glazed lily, huh? I think I've heard of it before. It's a flower...
Well, did you know it only blooms at night?
Emily, you're back!
Exactly.
A flower that only blooms at night.
Exactly. Although the Nilotpala lotus, that's why Kyria chose the glazed lily.
There's a sticky substance on the edge of the flower petals. It's... If poured into the flower pot, the liquid... If applied to the outside... If you stick the petals together with slime
That's right! He applied a diluted form of slime condensate to the... That way, the agouste would remain trapped inside during the daytime, unable to seep between the petals and... However, the diluted slime condensate wouldn't be viscous enough to prevent the petals of the glazed lily from opening at night.
And Kyria could execute his revenge without having to...
By the next morning, the sample of agouste would have nearly...
Wait a second. You're telling me this version of a... And how did Edgar even survive in
That's because agouste is just as dangerous now as it was all those years ago.
You mean people who are sensitive to elemental energy? That can't be right.
I wouldn't use the word allergic necessarily. It's more like they're susceptible to its effects. You can think of it this way. It's not that Sylvain and Lucy...
In Fontaine, I experienced how all kinds of essential oils commonly found in alchemical products. The incense I smelled earlier seemed familiar. In Sumeru, scholars use
alchemically produced essential oils, the primordial seawater that caused unrest in Fontaine, not too...
That stuff gave us a lot of trouble when we first...
Ah, yes. In Sumeru, it's not uncommon to use incense indoors.
Flowers are pretty important to this plan, huh? The glazed lily is native to Liyue.
Actually, it's not a coincidence at all.
No wonder he was willing to pay. He probably used the Mora Yelena left him, don't you? But in the end...
There's a saying among forensic doctors in Fontaine. Every step you take leaves a mark. But up until this point, we haven't been able to detect any trace of Kiria's activities. But because he's been disguised as...
The Mora spent to rent out the hotel, it all points to one person. The boy who inherited Yelena's legacy. Creating such an intricate mechanism out of a glitch, it all points to one person. Kiria and Edgar. Creating such an it all points to...
But Kiria was only in his teens back. Edgar's lived here for so many years.
Bad news, Sheriff! Mr. Edgar was attacked!
What?
A dark shadow-like figure just ran out of his room. But before we could even react, the figure up and disappeared. Like, do you think Kiria can...
I need you to think very carefully about this.
I mean, Mr.
It would seem Master decided to tap into an ill-advised source of power.
What? But that's so dangerous with the condition he's in.
But why?
No. If his aim was to target...
If he left Sylvain alive yesterday, not out of a...
Then there...
The shadow-like figure ran in the direction of the elevator, and my partner immediately chased after them.
We should hurry before they're forced to confront...
Where in the world did he go? Let's ask the merchants nearby.
A shadow-like figure? Sorry, I didn't...
Yeah! Skyward! Got her!
It's all right. Please, calm down and take a deep breath.
How could...
Yeah! Skyward! Got her!
It's all right. I can detect a faint whiff of this... It's this way. Please, follow me. The scent is getting stronger. This must...
You know what? Let's use these guys. That actually gives me triple danger. That's not a good thing, per se. I would guess, but...
Oh! O's! Are you all right? Were you attacked?
No.
Let me take a look.
The air definitely feels heavy. It smells nice, but for some reason, this feeling...
Everything looks all right. It was probably just the stress of...
I can't rest. Mr. Edgar he's a good man.
Oz, you need to calm down and listen to me.
But how is that Mr. Edgar is 70-something.
That's precisely why he had to resort to extraordinary measures. Kiria used a delusion to bring back the Auguste flower.
No. He couldn't have.
And what if the impersonation started... I've yet to confirm it, but I suspect Kiria killed the real Edgar while Edgar was incarcerated. Kiria started making preparations to replace him. The new Edgar then decided to relocate to Sumeru, seemingly out of an innocuous desire to let go of the past. And Sumeru fit the bill to a T, with no one around to question his identity. As the years went by, he removed his disguise little by little and continued to refine it.
That explains why Sylvain said he aged himself decades beyond his years just so he could accomplish his revenge.
I need to find Mr. Edgar. He's not that...
What you really need is...
No,
Wait! This environment is likely being influenced by the delusion.
Any discomfort, I know how to relieve your symptoms, but I'm sure Kyria...
Kale's right. The Traveler and I will take things from here. From our brief exposure, this leads me to believe those blessed with a vision or capable of wielding elemental Actually, now that I think about it, this strong... I hate to trouble you.
Thanks. Hear that? We're heading out.
Traveler, Emilie, for someone whose only purpose in life is revenge.
Don't worry. This is... We're not going to let a goose...
Okay. That's a terrible team idea.
Monsters? Perhaps they were attracted here by the increased level of elemental energy.
Everybody stand back!
I've never seen these seeds before. They must also have been created with the power of a delusion. It seems to be avoiding us, and there's no other way forward. Perhaps we could try luring it to the edge of the cliff.
Okay, that is one way to solve puzzles. Although I'm still extremely puzzled. But yeah.
Whoa, look at all the Agus. There are so many of them. I can't believe a single person did all this.
I fear that statement is truer than you know, Paimon. Using a delusion comes at a cost.
But why would... He only needed a few
Perhaps hatred wasn't the only Not long ago, he told me he didn't want all the flowers transported to Sumeru to wither away in a foreign land. But Kyria betrayed Snezhnaya, abandoned Fontaine, and lived his entire life in Sumeru under the guise of someone else. For someone with nowhere to call home. Perhaps dying among a bed of Agus flowers just like...
Well, that sounds like a person who needs a lot of therapy. This must be where he lived, I'm guessing.
Everyone hold hands.
Extract! Let's light it up! Russian floral! Why do they never miss? Huh? Come back!
Why the purple light? What happens in the purple light? This is a very concerning to me. Like in a strange way. Like
Adventure
considering
time.
like it's strange.
The scent of flowers is getting stronger. We're almost at the end. The scent of flowers is getting stronger.
Did they... No, my strength is just waning. But it doesn't matter. This is far enough.
This is a garden of Auguste flowers. But it's not mine. It's the one that was set on fire all those... Yelena? Yelena! You tried to hide it from me, but the reason why you continued to use the delusion, the reason why you set your garden on fire, I shouldn't have listened to you that day. I shouldn't have taken the Mora and ran. But by the time I realized something wasn't right, there was nothing left. I know I'm almost 20 years too late. I should have come looking for you earlier. I should have died with you that day. Yelena? Yelena! No! Don't leave me! Yelena!
I'm alive. No, that's not possible.
That was an illusion, likely brought about by the residual toxin in your body coupled with the pollen in the air.
No, the amount of Auguste I drank, it should fake.
We started making the preparations last night with one goal in mind, to create a The Accord is the basis of perfume making,
the product in its most primitive form. Ambergris mixed with cedar wood, rounded out with a base note of agar wood.
This is the scent of leather?
Exactly. We're unable to extract essential oils from leather, but by combining other raw materials, we can recreate its essence. That is the purpose of an accord.
Does that mean you can recreate any scent in the whole world?
I'm afraid not. Certain fragrances in this world are simply one of a kind. That quality is what draws people in and fuels their obsessions.
If I wear a goose to the ball, I'll also be one of a kind.
Our competitor already got their hands on it.
It doesn't matter how much it costs. I have to buy something better.
This fragrance will be one of a kind, no more. Myths can be deconstructed, miracles can be recreated. All it takes is skill, experience, limitless exploration, and a little patience. The only thing left is determining where the real Auguste is hidden. Pretending to be attacked means he's not free to move around. Auguste must be hidden within reach.
Paimon took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers.
The curator commissioned a flower pot from Kasharawar, capable of retaining heat and moisture.
Perfumes are as beautiful as flowers, and equally as delicate. When stored, you must take care to control the temperature and keep them away from direct sunlight. Did you get all that, Emilie?
I got it.
Did you hear? Someone was attacked again last
night.
So, Sylvain is dead. Is that right?
Yes, Master.
So, you switched the bottles of Auguste, and then lied to me about Sylvain's death.
Convincing you that your revenge had been completed?
Impossible. Even if Auguste...
It was a combination of rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias. But recently...
Rainbow roses?
Auguste was created over 10 years ago. Perfumery techniques are advancing day by day. We've found better ways to extract essential oils, separate oils and fats. The mythos surrounding Auguste may have been untouchable almost 20 years ago.
The past.
You've been working as a perfumer for all these years. You should have always known that it is possible to make an accord, even if only in theory. But the meaning you assigned to Auguste became so inflated. You believed in its divinity and grandeur. You believed it was entirely one of a kind.
And in the process, you forgot that it was a bottle of perfume, nothing more.
Your obsession with Auguste is also what allowed us to predict how you intended your plan to end.
We just didn't expect it to happen so fast.
Well, you hit... So, since you've been preparing your accords, that means the news of Sylvain's death...
Yes. If we hadn't, you might have resorted to the delusion...
Who knows? Maybe...
I know if you had things your way, you would carry the truth of Edgar's demise, and the... Sylvain only inhaled a small amount of poison. All the crimes he concealed back then will be
Is that so?
Whoa, he accepted that kind of fast.
I don't feel the need to justify. I did what I set out to do.
Careful, everyone.
Stick close.
Looks like...
Of course, Master.
The combination.
The scent of Auguste is complex and varied. So, as I was analyzing the sample yesterday, I got to...
You're saying Yelena designed...
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, Cecilias. The perfumers of the past knew that if you combine their essential... But if you cultivate a new flower species that intrinsically carries the unique features of the...
Rainbow rose, Yelena.
You know what? What does the guide say? Okay. Are there any more secrets in this place?
Here you are.
Okay guys, so that's an invisible dead-end wall. I mean, this is a very large domain that they created. Well, yeah, relatively speaking. A lot of reused assets, I'm gonna guess, but still.
Did you know? Miss Emilie's releasing a new perfume! Right? I heard...
Seems like everyone in Fontaine is talking about the new perfume you're releasing.
I was hoping to release it without such a fuss, but I just hope it won't become the source of some new myth. Especially, I did, although I made a few modifications to the formula to make the scent more pleasant and long-lasting. Also, I was hoping you could try it.
Of course! A good sense of taste.
Okay.
Oh, it smells great!
It's alright. Besides, when it comes to perfume, commenting on whether it smells good is the most straightforward assessment you can ask for.
Right! Do those flowers have some
If I had to...
The language of flowers? Oh, we've heard of that
What each flower is said to represent varies by person and across different moments in history. After returning to Fontaine, I did some research and forget the past and keep on living. Perhaps that's the legacy Yelena always intended. Not the
You think Kiria knew about that?
I paid him a visit before. Who knows? Maybe she didn't mean anything by it at all. Yelena is gone. Well, even if that is what she was avenging her death. Kiria cultivated his revenge like a flower. He was committed to making it bloom. In any case, he did want me to pass along thank you for saving my life. Forgiving love and hatred are when someone dies, their thoughts, feelings, and intentions die with them. But even if it's only a conjecture, the meaning we give to flowers, the symbolism we assign to our perfumes, and yet at the very outset.
Okay. Fancy. It's okay.
Here you are.
Astra. Thank you for
Okay.
Add Astra.
Domains. Oh, okay. I don't know what to do. Okay. You know what? Let's try this.
Exactly. But none of them believe me.
Okay. All right. I need to check out. Nah. That's cool. Right. I need to check a couple of things. Okay. I'm just thinking what dailies I can and should do at the moment. Speaking of dailies, let's try this out. Let's see if I can do this quote-unquote perfectly. With some definitely overpowered characters, but still.
afraid? Or do you not even have the courage to be afraid?
Get closer.
Spare your energy. Running is of little use. With these rising flames, is it my turn
Mind
now?
the side effects.
Now that's more like it.
Seems like an emergency.
Is it my turn now?
Torn to oblivion.
With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise. Have a taste of purgatory.
The statue was seen. Let's cause ceasefire.
Look at you. Trapped like a bunch of helpless animals. Is it my turn now?
Mind the side effects.
Is it my turn now? Spare your energy. Running is a little.
Taking a turn for the better.
Shower new face.
Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent after all.
Now he shall perish.
Okay. Let's see.
Strike a pose. There is no escape. The statue will see you now.
My blade is all that remains.
Mind the side effects.
Illusion shattered.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Your punishment made manifest.
The statue will see you.
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains.
There is no escape. Zuma shines eternal.
Sundown is only the beginning. Let's see how strong you are.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Oh wait. Huh. A bit slower than I hoped, but I did manage to keep all my characters alive for once. Maybe I should use Alhaitham a bit more, I guess. Oh, that's a lot of views. I usually don't have these many amount of views. That's good news. Relatively speaking, but I think that's also like the largest number of views I've had in quite some time. Thank you, viewers. Okay.
the side effects.
Oh great, none of them hit.
There is no escape.
Mind the side effects.
Showing you praise.
Oh, bold. Plans changed. A bitter pill to swallow.
May I present?
I feel like I'm having more lag than usual.
Taking a turn for the better. The process of elimination.
Shine down.
Here you are. The plan's changed.
Dang it.
Strike pose. Illusion shattered.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Oh boy, that's a lot of lag.
Seems like an emergency.
Now you shall perish. Huh. There is no escape. Ha, ha.
I remember. No, I don't think it was this particular domain. Aha. Two down. Okay, we can do one more. do I not have enough of? I should try this one, I think. Or this one. You know what? Let's see how fast we can do this. Because I've done it in like one whole beat once. Just once. So let's see. Oops. I dropped this. Cool.
Shine down. Shower me with praise. The doctor will see you now. There is no escape.
A bitter pill to swallow. The process of elimination.
Born to oblivion.
Oh, come on.
The doctor will see you.
Remember, health comes first.
Nearly had. Nearly. I'm gonna have to wait another. Come on. Like, I know I'm using low powered characters and everything, so I shouldn't be surprised at all. But still.
Shine down.
Nearly had it too.
A bitter pill to swallow.
There is no escape.
See? Oh, 2 likes. Wow. This is the most popular video ever. Okay. Yep. Okay, that takes care of that. 16 and 9, okay. I could use some more. From where? That's the question. From where should I get more? Ooh boy. Let's go here.
Curses. There's sand in my shoes.
And this is actually the perfect team to use in this one. Because if it's any of those shrooms, then I don't need to use fish, otherwise I need to use fish.
Odds reveal by take flight.
So. Now that I consider it,
By royal decree.
I also need to do the centaur boss. Which resin do I have? 97. I reckon I can do the centaur boss once, and then follow it up with another. Yeah, that's the thing I can do. Ooh, wrong team, wrong team, wrong team. Wrong team. That is the right team. Maybe I'm still considering
More
it.
speed.
I know that Yola and Raiden belong to this team. I just don't know who else should belong to this team. Let's charge them up.
Shine down. Busted. More speed. Crush. Huh? Beg for mercy.
I really like this weapon verdict. I mean, so the gem on if you see close to like that suggests that it's made for Navia because it glows when the Navia's arc when you give it to her. Where is Navia? Oh, 85. I think so. She was one of the 85. Wait, where's Navia? Oh, where she's down. Yep, there she is. Yep, so when I give it to her, it switches. Like you can see the glowing thing, which is not present otherwise, so, you know. But it's more suited for you, at least at the moment. Where were we?
There is no escape. Take it easy. Barbados, guide us. Vengeance will be mine. More speed. Now you shall perish. Quiet now. Crush.
Oh, come on.
Who is flying? Busted.
And hit. Okay. Alrighty then. How many gems do I have of 18 and 18? Okay. Let's add more gems. Oh, yep, Fontaine. Base, use it. Oh, there it is. You know what, let's do one more for good measure. Boy, this has stretched over 2 hours. Okay. Okay.
Illusion shattered.
35 views. Wow. This might be the longest. Not the longest, but the most popular video I have ever
Shine
created.
down. Beg for mercy.
Maybe I'm knowing that. Maybe the algorithm likes me.
Freeze to the core. I condemn you. Inazuma shines eternal.
That was a very damaging. Okay. Oh wait, she has this. Wait, why does she have this? Why did I give her this weapon? When I gave her so probably. Give it to her. Crimson Semblance. Okay. I wonder if she's doing a lot of damage.
Busted. Game's up. Time's over. Shut up. Crush. Eye for an eye. Quiet now.
Okay. It's unfair with more. I need a lot more for Baiju actually. I need like 2.1 million of those for Baiju. Oh, okay. What's this spot?
There is no escape. Wait, hear me. Vengeance will be mine. Gotcha. Here comes the test. Torn to oblivion. Ha! Ha!
How I got up. Nothing. That's good news. Come on, just end. Why don't you end? How many? 65 and floor change. Ooh, beautifuls. There we go. crit rate increased by like 1%. Okay. What else is there to upgrade? Oh.
Take it easy.
Who else needs to be upgraded? Oh, there we go. He needs to be brought to level 90. Oh, sorry. Sorry, wait. Anyways,
You're right.
just feels like a safe. One thing I like about him equipping with like a signature weapon is when it slams it down, it perfectly aligns. You know, the blade.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
Lack of tip with the floor. That's taken care of. Oh yes, there is. Upgraded. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it went a lot more into depth than I'd hoped. Okay. 29. Is there any other characters? Upgrade. Healers, come on, where are the healers? There's one. There's two. Healers, I need to bring them on to level 88. Sure, why not? Whatsoever.
All right, team, let's move it out.
One domain. Oh, some dishes. Okay. Ley lines. Using will be dealt with as it happens. Yeah, I guess with that I'm gonna stop and end today's episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time whenever I see you guys. Bye!